Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's Zoom meeting. Today is going to be the last Zoom meeting about the Nutriplant Organic Plus Fertilizer, which is going to be presented by one of our trainer, Miss Minnie Mean. And by the way, welcome Professor Jason Zhang, who is going to be with us. So if you have any questions, kindly raise your questions after the presentation. So good day, good evening, Professor. How are you? Okay, so without
Good.
Merry Christmas. So without wasting any time, please will ask Miss Minnie to share her screen, and please pay attention to the basic knowledge and information about the NLPF, which is going to help you a lot when you're facing the local farmers. All right, the floor is yours. Please go ahead.
Dear family members of Green World, good day to all of you. Today, I'm truly honored to be here to introduce our Green World product, the Nutriplant Organic Plus Fertilizer, also known as NOPF. Currently, NOPF has entered multiple markets across Asia, South America, and Africa, including countries such as Myanmar, Bolivia, Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria, and Zimbabwe. NOPF is more than just a fertilizer. It represents a new approach to crop cultivation and land improvement. If we all adopt NOPF, we can significantly transform agricultural production methods and better promote the harmonious coexistence of humans and nature. In order to help you gain a thorough understanding of our product, I will introduce NOPF from the following 5 key aspects. We all know that a high-quality product always relies on the support of a powerful research and development team, and NOPF is no exception. Our product receives technical backing from 2 senior agricultural experts, Professor Shen Qirong and Professor Zhang Jianxin. First, let's get to know Professor Shen Qirong. Professor Shen is an academician of the Chinese Academy of Engineering and a professor at Nanjing Agricultural University, with over 30 years of experience in the agricultural sector. In terms of academic achievements, Professor Shen has published a large number of high-quality academic papers in top-tier journals, and he holds a number of practical patents. In terms of scientific research, he has long been dedicated to studying soil fertility enhancement and the efficient use of organic fertilizers, solving many practical problems in agriculture. Notably, NOPF is a result validated through experiments and field trials by Professor Shen's team. The other expert is Professor Zhang Jianxin. Professor Zhang is a renowned expert at the United States Department of Agriculture and the authors of numerous academic papers and university textbooks, making him an authority in the agricultural field. Moreover, as an expert in sustainable agriculture and an educator, he has played a crucial role in the promotion of NOPF. It is precisely due to Professor Zhang's professional guidance that our product has successfully helped countless growers worldwide address practical planting challenges. With such a strong research and development team as our backbone, NOPF is well equipped to withstand market tests and gain widespread trust. At present, NOPF has been successfully promoted in more than 20 countries around the world and has established a very mature and stable market foundation in these countries. The registration certificates that NOPF has obtained in various countries are not just simple pieces of paper. They are the comprehensive and strict recognition of NOPF safety, quality, and compliance by the relevant regulatory authorities of each country after a series of strict inspections and evaluations. Next, let's take a detailed look at the various registration certificates. First, let's turn our attention to the African market, a region with immense agricultural potential. Since its launch in Africa, OOPF has passed the assessment of relevant authorities in 11 African countries, thanks to its excellent quality. For instance, this is a fertilizer registration certificate authorized by Nigeria's National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control in 2015. This certificate is of great significance to us because it is the first registration certificate that NOPF has obtained in the entire African region. The successful acquisition of this certificate is inseparable from the joint efforts and promotion of Professor Shen and Dr. Li. Eventually, NOPF successfully passed the local review, laying a solid foundation for our entry into the African market, which is a milestone of great significance for us. What we see here now is the latest fertilizer registration certificate authorized by South Africa's Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development in 2025. South Africa boasts a highly developed agricultural industry, and the acquisition of this certificate signifies that our product has officially entered this important market. This is the importation permit issued by Ministry of Agriculture, Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service in 2018. The following are the import certificate and registration certificate authorized by Uganda's Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fishery in 2019, which double ensure the product's compliance in Uganda. Next, we have the registration certificate authorized by Madagascar's Ministry of Agriculture, Plant Health Inspectorate Service in 2022. Below is the fertilizer import registration certificate issued by Tanzania's Fertilizer Regulatory Authority in 2017. This is the fertilizer registration certificate authorized by Mozambique's Ministry of Agriculture in 2021. In the same year, 2021, we also obtained the fertilizer registration certificate from Malawi's Ministry of Agriculture. This is the pesticide and toxic substances license granted by Zambia's Environmental Management Agency in 2022. In 2025, NOPF also successfully obtained the latest fertilizer registration certificate in Zimbabwe, authorized by Zimbabwe's Ministry of Lands, Agriculture and Rural Resettlement. In 2024, NOPF was officially authorized by Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development of Cameroon. In addition to the African market, NOPF has also achieved good results in the Asian and South American markets. In Myanmar, our product received the official certification authorization from the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Irrigation in 2023. In Peru, after a strict review process by the Ministry of Agrarian Development and Irrigation in 2023, our product successfully obtained the permission to promote and sell in the local market. In the same year of 2023, NOPF also received the fertilizer registration certificate officially authorized by the National Agricultural Quality Assurance Agency of Ecuador. In Bolivia, in 2023, the National Agricultural Health and Food Safety also conducted a strict inspection and evaluation of OPF. Over the years, OPF has been widely recognized by many countries around the world. In the future, we will always adhere to the quality first standard, continue to improve the quality and performance of OPF, and provide better products and services for growers around the world. Meanwhile, OPF has always adhered to the company's philosophy of from nature, beyond nature, back to nature. As an organic product derived from natural materials, OPF's raw materials are entirely sourced from biological material. In the production process of OPF, we first go through two core and key processes, enzymatic hydrolysis and hydrolysis. Through these two professional processes, the biological organic matter is fully decomposed and transformed. And finally, a product with a scientific and a reasonable composition ratio is obtained. After that, this product will go through a series of strict and standardized processing procedures to further improve the quality and stability of the product. Finally, after passing the final quality inspection, the product is carefully packaged, and then it becomes the OPF finished product that we see on the market and can be used by growers. In the entire production process of OPF, we use a large number of large-scale and professional production equipment to ensure the efficiency and quality of production. For example, the equipment you see here is a fermentation tank used in production. At present, OPF mainly has two different packaging specifications to meet the diverse needs of different growers. These two specifications are 1,000 milliliters and 100 milliliters, respectively. Between these two specifications, the 1,000 milliliters package is suitable for growers with large-scale planting operations, offering greater cost effectiveness. And the 100 milliliters package is ideal for those with small planting areas or individuals who wish to try the product on a small scale first. You can choose the appropriate size based on your specific needs. As a liquid amino acid organic fertilizer, OPF contains a variety of micronutrients and amino acids, and is a safe, efficient natural plant nutrient. What is more important is that OPF has passed a number of rounds of strict and authoritative testing. These tests are carried out by professional testing institutions with high credibility, and the testing items cover all aspects related to product quality and safety. First, this report is a self-inspection report of OPF. This report is a test result of OPF conducted by the Jiangsu Quality Supervision and Inspection Institute. This institute is a formal and authoritative quality supervision and inspection institution in China, with advanced testing equipment and professional testing personnel. The test results issued by it have high credibility and authority, which further confirms the quality and safety of OPF. And this is the test report issued by Zambia's Ministry of Agriculture. These results all confirm that, in addition to amino acids, OPF is rich in nutrients essential for plants, such as nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron, zinc, manganese, boron, copper, and so on. Precisely because OPF contains such a comprehensive array of nutrients and abundant amino acid molecules, Spraying it on crops can quickly replenish the nutrients they lack and promote their growth and development. We all know that before planting crops, we usually need to apply base fertilizer to the soil. The base fertilizer is like a green reserve for the growth and development of crops, which can provide a continuous supply of nutrients for crops in the early stage of growth. However, when crops show signs of nutrient deficiency, applying additional fertilizers to the soil often leads to slow absorption by the roots. At this critical moment, we need a fertilizer like NOPF, which is a fertilizer that has diverse nutrients and can be quickly absorbed and utilized by plants. Applying NOPF brings a wide range of benefits to plants, and these benefits have been verified through years of field experiments and laboratory research across different crop types and growing environments. From seed germination to fruit ripening, NOPF plays a positive role in almost every key stage of plant growth, providing strong support for improving crop yield and quality. Based on years of systematic research, we have found that NOPF has a significant promoting effect on seed germination. This picture displayed here clearly shows the contrast between cucumber seeds treated with NOPF and those treated with clean water. When we sprayed cucumber seeds with a properly diluted NOPF solution, their germination rate increased and the sprouted seedlings grew much stronger. Another experiment on rice proves that compared with spraying clean water, spraying NOPF can promote the development of rice roots and increase the number of fibrous roots. As a key organ for rice to absorb water and nutrients, fibrous roots are large in quantity and have many branches, which greatly increases the contact area between the root system and the soil. In addition, rice grows in paddy fields where the soil has high water content and a relatively soft texture. The fibrous roots extend like a net to the surrounding area and deep into the soil, firmly fixing the plants in the field, effectively reducing the risk of erosion during the later growth stages. A study focusing on watermelons shows that NOPF can improve the vascular bundles of watermelons. To understand this better, we can compare the plant's vascular system to the human circulatory system. Humans have a blood vessel network for blood circulation, and plants also have a similar network for nutrient circulation. The more developed a plant's vascular tissue is, the more water and nutrients it can transport upward from the roots to the branches, leaves, flowers, and fruits. In other words, OPF can help plants transport nutrients upward from the roots. OPF can also significantly promote overall plant growth. The two pictures below show a clear comparison between corn plants treated with NOPF and those not treated. The corn plants treated with NOPF are obviously taller, with stronger stems that can better support the weight of the ears. Their leaves are also denser and have a larger area, which means they can capture more sunlight for photosynthesis. Grapevines treated with NOPF also show remarkable growth performance. The leaves of grapevines treated with NOPF grew rapidly, and the leaves are large, with a larger area and a bright green color. Similarly, NOPF can effectively increase the leaf area of wheat. The right part of this picture shows the situation of wheat plants after applying NOPF. Generally, the larger the leaf area, the higher the photosynthetic rate of the plant, and the more organic matter it can accumulate, which is crucial for the formation of wheat grains. Moreover, OPF has the ability to adjust the crop growth cycle and extend the fruiting period of crops. This is particularly valuable for crops with economic fruits, as a longer fruiting periods usually fuller fruits and better quality. The picture below shows the growth state of corn plants in the late maturity stage. When corn plants not using NOPF start to wither, with leaves turning yellow and dry, those treated with NOPF remain healthy, with green leaves and active photosynthesis. Their fruits continue to expand and accumulate starch. Another important experimental result shows that using only conventional fertilizers or only NOPF can both increase biomass. And using only conventional fertilizers slightly increases biomass, while using only NOPF achieves a more significant effect. The combined use of NOPF and conventional fertilizers works better than using either NOPF or conventional fertilizers alone. Among the different treatments, the results of treatment 1 and treatment 5 are the same, which indicates that replacing 25% of NOPF with conventional fertilizers is feasible. In addition, treatment 3 shows a synergistic effect, with the increase in biomass being greater than the sum of the biomass increases from treatment 1 and treatment 2. A study exploring the effects of different fertilizers on copy yield was carried out. The study compared the effects of traditional chemical fertilizers, amino acid organic fertilizers, and amino acid bioorganic fertilizers added with functional strains on copy yield. The results found that, compared with traditional chemical fertilizers, amino acid organic fertilizers, and amino acid bioorganic fertilizers significantly increased copy yield. The set of pictures shows more detailed growth indicators of copy plants under different fertilizer treatments. In addition to promoting plant growth, NOPF can also effectively enhance plants' resistance to diseases and pests. This picture shows the obvious effect of NOPF on bananas. Using NOPF can help banana plants resist diseases and pests through multiple ways. For instance, it provides sufficient amino acids and mineral elements for banana plants to synthesize substances related to disease and pest resistance. And it improves the rhizosphere soil environment, promoting the reproduction of beneficial microorganisms and inhibiting the growth of harmful microorganisms. Moreover, it induces plants to produce systemic acquired resistance, making them more sensitive to the invasion of pathogens of pests. Also, it can repair damaged tissue in time, reducing the chance of secondary invasion of diseases and pests. All these ways work together to effectively prevent large-scale yield reduction caused by the interference of diseases and pests. Another experiment comparing the inhibitor effects of conventional fertilizers and NOPF on the incidence of tobacco bacterial wilt showed the following results. For tobacco treated with NOPF, the disease incidence and disease index decreased by 23% and 15.9% respectively. This indicates that NOPF not only ensures tobacco yield and reduces economic losses, but also improves tobacco quality and increases the value of the product. Our NOPF has been widely applied in many parts of Africa, and it has achieved remarkable results in increasing crop yield and improving crop quality. Local farmers have given positive feedback on the use effect of NOPF. This picture shows the harvest scene of plantain in Uganda. After using NOPF, the plantain fruits grown by local users are larger, and the yield has also increased. Farmers in Zambia have also benefited a lot from using NOPF. The picture shows the happy scene of Zambian farmers harvesting cabbages. They are very satisfied with the cabbage harvest, as the increased yield has brought them higher economic income. In addition, after using NOPF in Zambia, farmers have also seen significant improvements in both corn yield and quality. In Kenya, NOPF has been applied to a variety of agricultural products, including pumpkins, potatoes, and radishes. The results show that after using NOPF, their crops have become larger in size and better in quality. While increasing crop yield, NOPF brings better economic benefits to farmers. Take the aforementioned tobacco as an example. NOPF not only increases tobacco yield, but also significantly improves tobacco quality. Specifically, it increases the proportion of medium quality and high quality tobacco. Compared with the control group, the yield increases by 231.7 kilograms per hectare. The proportion of high quality tobacco increases by 9.7 percentage points. The proportion of medium quality tobacco increases by 2 percentage points, and the output value increases by 3,186 yuan per hectare, which is equivalent to 455 to 531 US dollars per hectare. Besides the visible changes in plants and fruits, NOPF can also bring profound improvements to the soil environment, soil quality, and microbiome ecosystem. A healthy soil environment is the foundation for plant growth, especially for the development of roots. The AWCD values, or average wheel color development value, is an important indicator reflecting the metabolic activity of soil microorganisms. Microorganisms are an important part of the soil ecosystem, and they play a key role in organic matter decomposition, nutrient cycling, and plant nutrient utilization. A higher AWCD value indicates stronger soil microbiome activity and richer soil fertility. From this picture, we can clearly see the AWCD values of the three treatments. The NOPF treatment group has the highest AWCD value at every measurement time. This shows that after using NOPF, the soil environment becomes healthier, the soil fertility is the best, and the microbiome activity is the strongest. NOPF is a very good organic fertilizer, but to maximize its effects, you need to use it correctly according to scientific methods. Incorrect use methods may not only fail to achieve the expected promotion effect, but may also cause unnecessary losses. Whether using chemical fertilizers or organic fertilizers, you need to follow the 4R principle. The 4R principle is a widely recognized scientific fertilization guideline in the field of agriculture. You can get the highest benefit with the least amount of fertilizer by strictly following the 4R principle. The 4R principle advocates best management practices to achieve the goals of cropping system while minimizing nutrient loss in the field and maximize nutrient absorption by crops. The 4R stands for right source, right rate, right time, and right place. Specifically, right source means you should choose the appropriate type of fertilizer according to the specific needs of crops, soil conditions, and planting goals. For example, If the soil is deficient in nitrogen and needs quick nitrogen supplement to promote seedling growth, you can choose quick-acting nitrogen fertilizers such as urea as the source. If you need to improve the soil structure in the long term and supply nutrients slowly and continuously, organic fertilizers are more suitable. Choosing the right fertilizer source is the first step to ensure fertilization effect. Right rate means you should determine the precise amount of fertilizer to apply according to crop variety, soil fertility level, target yield, and fertilizer type. Applying too little fertilizer will lead to insufficient nutrient supply for crops, restricted growth, and failure to reach the expected yield and quality. At the same time, applying too much fertilizer is also harmful. It will cause excessive vegetative growth of crops, waste fertilizer, increase production costs, and may even cause potential environmental problems such as soil acidification, water eutrophication, and air pollution. Right time means you should match the fertilizer application time with the nutrient demand law of crops at different growth stages to ensure that nutrients can be absorbed and used by crops in time. Different growth stages of crops have different nutrient requirements. For example, crops need a large amount of nitrogen at the seedling stage to promote the growth of stems and leaves. So applying nitrogen fertilizer at this stage can effectively promote seedling growth. Crops need a large amount of potassium during the fruit expansion stage to promote fruit development and improve fruit quality. So supplementing potassium fertilizer at this stage can achieve the best effect. If you apply fertilizer during the off-peak period of crop nutrient demand, it is easy to cause nutrients to leach with rainwater or volatilize into the air, greatly reducing fertilizer use efficiency. Right place means you should apply fertilizer in the area where crops can absorb it easily and where nutrient loss is small to ensure precise amount nutrient supply. For dense planted crops such as wheat and corn, you often use band application or broadcast application followed by plowing to keep the fertilizer close to the root distribution layer. For crops such as fruit, trees, and vegetables with relatively concentrated root systems, you mostly use ring application or hole application around the root zone to avoid low absorption efficiency caused by fertilizer being too far from the roots or root burn caused by fertilizer being too close to the roots. If you spread fertilizer randomly on the soil surface without covering it with soil, it is easy to cause nutrient loss due to rainwater soaring and volatilization, significantly reducing fertilizer use efficiency. There are many ways to use fertilizers. For liquid fertilizers, there are about 4 main application methods, each with its own characteristics and applicable scenarios. The first one is starter solution. It refers to liquid fertilizer that provides necessary nutrients for seed germination and early seedling growth during sowing or transplanting. Its main role is to supplement key nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, boron, and zinc, and help the rapid development of seedling roots, improving seed germination rate and seedling survival rate. It has 3 main application methods. The first method is seed dressing. You dissolve or dilute the fertilizer with a small amount of clean water to make a uniform solution. Then spray it on the surface of seeds, mix well, and sow after drying in the shade. This method allows the seeds to be sown with fertilizer, providing nutrients for germination and rooting from the beginning. The second method is seed soaking. You prepare a fertilizer solution of a certain concentration. Soak the seeds in the solution for 12 to 24 hours. Let the seeds fully absorb the solution through the seed coat, and then sow after drying in the shade. This method can promote early seedling growth and make the seedlings more robust. The third method is root dipping. You dilute the fertilizer to a certain concentration. Dip the roots of transplanted seedlings in the diluted solution before transplanting. This can effectively improve the survival rate of seedlings. The second application method is application with irrigation water, which is often called integrated water and fertilizer application. It refers to mixing the fertilizer into the irrigation system so that the fertilizer is transported to the root area along with the water flow. Its application methods include drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, and flood irrigation. The main advantages of this method are reducing the cost of manual fertilization, making nutrients evenly distributed in the soil to avoid local excessive or insufficient nutrients, and allowing nutrients to reach the area near the roots directly with water for rapid absorption by crops, thus greatly improving fertilizer use efficiency. The third application method is direct soil application or injection fertilization. Their main advantage is that they deliver fertilizer directly to the active root area of crops, minimizing nutrient loss. Direct soil application means spreading, burying, or pouring the fertilizer directly on the soil surface and in the shallow layer, allowing nutrients to be absorbed by the roots through soil infiltration. This method is simple and easy to operate. Injection fertilization requires special equipment, such as fertilizer injectors, to inject the fertilizer directly into the deep soil, delivering it accurately to the deep roots. It is more suitable for crops with deep root systems that need deep nutrient supply. The fourth application method is foliar spray. You prepare a fertilizer solution of an appropriate concentration according to the crop type and growth stage, and spray it directly on the crop surface with spraying equipment such as sprayers. This allows nutrients and active substances in the fertilizer to be absorbed through the stomata and cuticles of the leaves, entering the plant body to play a role. Foliar spray has the advantages of fast nutrient absorption, high utilization rate, and quick effect, and is especially suitable for supplementing micronutrients or when the root absorption function is weakened. It is very convenient to use an OPF with sprinkler irrigation. The pictures here show the situation where an OPF is sprayed on orchards, lawns, and vegetable plots together with irrigation water. This method is not restricted by scenarios and greatly reduces labor input. This picture shows that large machinery usually has a wide spraying range and can complete the fertilization and irrigation work of a large area in a short time. It is suitable for planting in flat terrain and large-scale areas, which can significantly improve production efficiency and reduce labor costs. Those pictures show the fertilization method mentioned just now, drip irrigation. This allows the roots of seedlings, grapevines, strawberries, and other crops to absorb the mixture in time. It is especially suitable for areas with water shortage or planting scenarios that require refined management. This picture shows another fertilization method, foliar spray. Foliar spray is a common fertilization method in agricultural production. especially for crops that need quick nutrient supplementation or have problems with root absorption. Regarding the application method of NOPF, we recommended foliar spraying. That is, use a sprayer to evenly spray the diluted fertilizer on the back of the leaves. The back of the leaves has more stomata than the front, which is more conducive to the absorption of nutrients. Foliar spraying has its unique advantages. It can avoid the impact of soil factors on nutrient absorption of rooted plants. On the other hand, for materials formed by cloning and cuttings, they have no roots or only very weak root systems in the early stage, so they can only get necessary nutrients supplemented through foliar fertilization to ensure their survival and growth. In terms of absorption speed, foliar spraying has obvious advantages compared with soil fertilization. If you apply the fertilizer directly to the soil and the soil conditions are good, it takes 3 to 5 days for rice to absorb the nutrients and transport them to the above ground parts. For dry land crops such as corn and wheat, it takes 3 to 7 days. When the soil conditions are poor, such as severe compaction, drought, or acidification, the nutrients may remain in the soil and never be absorbed by the crops. However, after foliar spraying, the nutrients can immediately reach the leaves. Under normal conditions, the nutrients can be absorbed by the leaves within a few hours and start to play a role in the plant body, thus quickly correcting the problem of nutrient deficiency. Understanding some of the mechanics behind foliar feeding is important for getting the most out of your foliar regimen. Most nutrients can be absorbed through stomata, which are the small pore-like structures found on leaves. The most notable function of stomata is they can open and close to facilitate carbon dioxide, oxygen, and water exchange with the atmosphere, which is acting similar in fashion to nostrils in humans. However, stomata can also allow the passage of nutrients, particularly when open. While stomata play an important role in foliar feeding, they are only responsible for some of the foliar nutrient absorption. An up-close examination of leaf surfaces reveals a landscape of other features that help to facilitate foliar feeding, including a network of cracks in the outer waxy leaf layer called the cuticle. These cracks and other features, such as specialized steel structures at the bases of trichomes called aqueous pores, also contribute significantly to nutrient absorption. Once absorbed into the leaf, nutrients can be transported through the vascular system to roots, flowers, fruits, and so on for storage or use. Regarding the specific use method of NOPF, if you choose foliar spraying, you should follow the recommended dilution ratio. Generally, you should add 1 to 2 milliliters of NOPF to 1 liter of clean water for dilution. NOPF can be used at all growth stages of crops. It is especially useful to apply NOPF before flowering, during the flowering period, and during the fruiting period. At these stages are the key periods when crops need a lot of nutrients. If you use drip irrigation, you should add 1 milliliter of NOPF to 1 liter of water. This ratio is applicable to all crops. You can check the corresponding NOPF concentration from the table below according to the type of crops you grow. For example, if you want to use it on cash crops such as cabbages, you need to dilute 15 to 40 milliliters of NOPF in a container with a capacity of 20 liters. 1 liter of NOPF can cover 1 to 2 hectares of farmland. If you only have a small piece of land, you can calculate the required amount of fertilizer by yourself. When using NOPF, you need to pay attention to the following points to ensure its effectiveness and safety. First, make sure the spraying equipment is clean before use. Rinse the sprayer with clean water to remove any residues for other chemicals, and keep it away from chemicals harmful to plants. Second, choose the right time to spray. It is best to spray before 9:30 a.m. or after 5:30 p.m. Avoid using it under high temperature and strong light, as this will cause the fertilizer solution to evaporate quickly, reducing absorption efficiency and may even burn the leaves. Third, if it rains within 6 hours after spray, the fertilizer solution will be washed away by rainwater. So you need to re-spray after the rain stops and the leaves are dry. Fourth, do not prepare a large amount of solution in advance and store it for a long time, as this will reduce the activity of the effective ingredients. Fifth, only dilute NOPF with clean water. Do not mix it with other fertilizers or pesticides casually. Sixth, it is important to note that the main function of NOPF is to supplement nutrients for crops, so it cannot replace fungicides or insecticides. In general, NOPF is a high-quality organic fertilizer with comprehensive nutrition. It contains all the essential amino acids needed by plants. At the same time, it is also rich in various mineral elements, which can meet the multi-nutrient needs of crops during growth. It has the characteristics of fast and efficient absorption, so that crops can quickly obtain nutrients and respond in a short time. Moreover, NOPF is safe and friendly to animals, humans, and the environment. It is in line with the development direction of green and organic agriculture. Thank you for watching and listening carefully. The above is all the content of today's training on NOPF. We hope that through this training, you can have a comprehensive understanding of the benefits, application methods, and the precautions of NOPF. If you have any questions about the content we talked about or encounter problems in the actual use process, you can ask them at any time, and Professor Zhang will answer them for you in detail. We believe that with the correct use of NOPF, you will achieve better harvests in agricultural production. Thank you.
Thank you, Minnie, for this presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have any questions? Please don't hesitate to raise your questions. You may unmute yourself and talk to Professor Zhang face to face, or you may text your questions in the chat box. We still have 8 minutes to go. Well, thank you very
Well,
much.
she did. She did a very good summarize introduction of some basic NOPF, some basic benefits, and how do we use it. The most important, is a good product. It's very useful and have been very efficient, except in the many countries. Right now, it's about over 60 countries, I think. And so it's very useful. The thing is, we know it is very good, and we need to learn how to use it scientifically, make it more efficient. The timing, we know we discussed the 4R principles of the fertilizer or any like pesticides. So these 4Rs, we first pick what we use. We use NOPF. folic amino acids, organic nutritional supplements, or fertilizer, what we call it. But compared to the conventional, it's much better. We know it's good. Second is we now we understand a lot of benefits. And each crop, each region, they may need a different requirement in timing, methods, concentration. All this, every region is different. I saw somebody raise a hand. Okay? When you raise hand,
Hello.
can you just speak up? Yeah, you're from Kenya.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
good evening. I mean, good in the morning. Okay, go ahead.
I have a question. I have a
Okay.
client who is measuring in coffee, and he has just picked the one for the coffee folia.
Okay.
So he was asking. He has mature coffee plants, and there's been a kind of a dry spell now, but it rained once or twice. So he's talking about the plants are a little bit confused. There are ones they say you can find the same coffee plant. There is flowering. There is some branches that are flowering. Some already have berries on them. Some are maturing, and then there are new, even leaves forming from the same plant. So he was asking, then how does he go about applying the fertilizer?
This is a coffee plant. Is like a very complicated, and it's not like a rice. Like a corn or maize. You can flower same time. You can pick them same time. This is a continuous flowering, continuous picking. So what we want to do is for the mature plant, for the young plant, we basically maybe apply every once a month for when not little plants. For the mature plant, they already have flower already fruiting. What I want to do is in the early season, we maybe do a couple of times each month, one time a month. And after start flowering and picking, we may after each big harvest, then we spray one time. We cannot spray all the time. For the fruits, when you harvest them, the plants they need to recover. Oh, my computer may be crash anytime. Okay, and so if the fruits when they harvest it, the plants start growth again, start a new leaf, start a new stuff. So after the big harvest, you spray one time.
Thank you.
Yeah, so my battery is almost done, and I'm in the basement right now. I cannot get to my office. They are installing my roof. My second floor is too much noise. I cannot go over there. I didn't take my power bank. So we have a pamphlet, little what do you call it? The recommendation for the coffee. Ask the distributor. They should have the coffee special for young plants and mature plants. So following that, also have timing and concentration. So when you each time you buy NOPF, make sure you get the guideline how to use it. Little 3/4 of the instructions for major crops. If you're not in the major crops, if you don't find it, you come to the training. Right now we have every other Saturday, so you always can ask questions or let us know.
All right, thank you, Ms. Eric Tall. We think that you'll find this answer satisfactory. So, Honorable Soshia, you're raising your hand. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, be quick. My computer crash anytime. I
Honorable
can't hear you.
Soshi,
Soshi.
yeah, unmute yourself and go ahead asking your question.
We can't hear you. Okay, if we can't hear you this time and the next time, remember next Saturday we can continue or send us a message. We discuss. I see you
Okay.
unmuted, but I can't hear you. Okay, you are muted again. Okay. I don't see you anything in the chat room either, chat box either. So we can discuss next time.
All right,
But
so
thanks
thank
for
you.
the yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Miss Minnie. Thank you. Today is the last presentation for NOPF before the end of the year. So, okay, go ahead, please. If you want to ask question, go ahead.
So I have a client who is having okra, and the okra is now at the final stage. So he was asking me how is he going to apply it in terms of the measurements of the north of the fertilizer.
For the okra, and are you in my region? We only have one season, so in the end, there will be plants will die. Is your okra continue for the year round, or is it just the stop after the last pick?
I think it's on its first time of yielding.
So it's well, basically, for the okra, it's like eggplant, and they're like a pepper, so they keep glowing, and keep you should spray like every other week during the peak time, and in the later it so seems almost done, and just you should stop a month before you last the peak. The okra they need a lot of
So
these.
you bought the fertilizer.
Yeah. You need you okra is like an eggplant. They continue flower, continue produce fruits. So you can continue spray every other week, or every other week be fine. Lower concentration, you can do 1 ml, 1 milliliter to 1 liter, normal concentration. So it should be safe. And in the earlier season, be better. In the later,
So,
if the okra is already halfway up, it's time to stop.
okay, so if it's 20 mils, it should be continuing measuring 20 mils. It doesn't have to change.
Yeah, 20 mils for a 20-liter tank.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's a no-hurt spray more, this is okra, they need a lot of fertilizer, a lot of nutrients. Then make sure the soil, make sure to water them all the time. Make sure don't get them dry.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we can talk to you next time. And my battery will crash right now. Okay,
All right.
bye-bye.
Thank you, Professor, once again. Anyway, Merry Christmas to you. And also, this is going to be the last section of NOPF training before the end of this year. So the next presentation or training will be on year 2026. So each and everyone, thank you very much for being tuned in. Merry Christmas to you and a Happy New Year from Greenwood. Thank you once again, Professor. enjoy your weekend. And thank you very much, Miss Minnie. Enjoy your weekend and we see you.
Thank
Happy
you
New
very
Year,
much.
Merry
Bye
Christmas.
bye.
Thank
Happy
you.
New Year, Merry
Bye.
Bob.
Christmas. See you next year.
Thank you, Madam Rainey.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.